Hi, welcome to Lily's Advice. I wanted to share a story with you, if you haven't already heard, about 40 cattle escaping the slaughterhouse known as Manning Beef Company. It is located in Pico Rivera, California, in the county of Los Angeles. I also want to give you a little bit of a history about cows. I have been living on a working cattle farm, turkey farm, and I know a lot about agriculture life. So I want to share a little history and science suggestions about how smart cows really are. If you could talk to animals, would they have anything to say? According to researchers, they say they might. Well, neurologist Keith Kendricks from Barham Institute in Cambridge, England, tested a sheep's IQ. And every time she recognized a human's face, she would get a reward. And she scored 50 out of 50. And he also expressed in his article that most people wouldn't believe it. Most people believe it would be a dog. But no, it was a sheep. And so actually, a cow is actually smarter than your own dog. Cows do have best friends because science tells us so. Christina McLena from Northampton University found that out. The scientist, Christina McLena, found out that just like humans, that cows have best friends and their heart rate and cortisol levels go up when they're separated or when they're together with the other cows. Or they can develop long-lasting relationships just like humans with pigs, goats, and other farm animals, and also develop close relationships with humans. So no surprise there, they do have a best friend. Let's talk about the cow-calf life and their journey. A mother cow gives birth to a calf, and it weighs about 60 to 100 pounds. And it will live on a farm or a ranch, and it will graze the grass for about a year. And a cow usually gives birth once a year to the farmer, and they will sell it to an auction house when that cow is weaned from the mother around 9 months old, and they'll sell it to an auction house for like $80 per cow. And then after that, it will go to a slaughterhouse meatpacking plant. And this leads me to Manning's Meatpacking. And it's not only Manning's Meatpacking. Each state has about 50 slaughterhouses. And this is no business. It is like a cartel corporation. And it is a cruel business. So let's talk about Manning's Beef Company in Pico Rivera. They're taking these steers, about 1,300 pounds, load them off the truck from the Bryant family ranch south of the Salton Sea. And they put them in these fences. And as the steers are peeking their heads through the gates like little dogs, these guys are workers who are called knockers. And they knock them in the head with their stun guns. And they hit them in the head and the brain until they're lifeless on the concrete floor. And I didn't want to hear any more about people complaining about illegals and shutting the border down because they're all in your slaughterhouses and they're packing your meat. And Central California is known that all across the California that all these meat houses had COVID and they're packing your meat. And COVID is known to be on services and also mad cow disease. And these are not clean facilities, and they're having illegals. So if you keep saying close the border, blah, 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 then get these legal workers out of the factory and back to their country then. I don't mind illegals living here. I don't mind them working. I think they're hard workers, but I don't like them killing animals.
This is a rodeo unlike anyone has ever seen. Those are cows. Yes, cows. Running down a cul-de-sac in Pico Rivera, a suburb southeast of Los Angeles. Authorities say 40 cows escaped from the Manning Beef Company, a slaughterhouse, and ran as far as a mile away. The bovine travelers took advantage of a gate that was accidentally left open.
I mean, look at this. This is crazy talk.
They ran into a residential neighborhood, causing quite a panic. Once word got out, some cattle ranchers lent their expertise to the LA County Sheriff's Department to help load errant cows onto trailers. But the professionals make it clear, wrangling cattle isn't for the inexperienced.
Got loose when a gate at the Manning Beef Company was accidentally left open.
And Manning's Beef Company has been indicted on racketeering charges in New York City. And you can look it up on pacermonitor.com. That's such a loser. And so that is a cartel corporation. He's wannabe mafioso. They're taking these steers, about 1,300 pounds, load them off the truck from the Bryant family ranch south of the Salton Sea. And then they put them in these fences. And as the steers are peeking their heads through the gates like little dogs, these guys are workers who are called knockers. And they knock them in the head with their stun guns. And they hit them in the head and the brain until they're lifeless on the concrete floor. Beef company turns your beef into steak. And how they do it is they use a stun gun. And they use a stun gun, and it's called a knocker, and they put them in a chute. And after they put them in a chute in a knock box, and their heads are sticking out like little dogs in a fence, the knocker is called the worker. He comes and he shoots them with a stun gun in their brains and their head, and they fall out on the concrete. And then the next worker comes and gets a knife and slices their throat. Meatpacking Slaughterhouse employees are illegal immigrants. So contact your local representative and your local ICE office. Also, the COVID was running rampant in your meatpacking slaughterhouses in your states and also in the Central California area. So they were packing your meat and your food and sending it to your local grocery store. But I'd like to give thanks to the Humane Society, Mercy for Animals, and PETA for rendering services for when the federal government has failed these animals. I do hope Biden sticks with his 100-day plan, which he has failed to do, to save these animals and livestock from abuse from these slaughterhouses.